Hey YouTube, welcome back to UniX DBS, and today, since you animals asked for it, and by animals I mean lovely subscribers and viewers, and the other video did get to 40 likes, and I promised that when it did, I would give you guys a hard draft of the Grand Prix deck with some actual thought put behind it. And so here we are. We're gonna get into the deck list. I'm gonna show you just a couple of just kind of test runs, and with all the decks I'm kind of going through, because I think we've already done U7, we're here for this one. What I'm going to be doing once we get the full set spoilers, I'm really going to be trying to get some games on Untapped for you guys. The reason why I'm not doing that yet is because with half the set spoiled, we don't know if this set's going to even impact the meta like it could. We don't know if there are going to be decks that completely warp the current standing of the meta. We don't even know what ban list or erratas we may get going into this set. So once we get all that, we'll know a little bit more about how at least the beginning foundation of the meta should be, and I can start tuning these decks directly to that meta. So that being said, the normal plugs, if you haven't already, go and give a follow to the official Facebook group for Dragon Ball Super the card game. It's where we get all these card spoilers and official announcements. The discussion group is where we go and just talk about all these things. You've got Universe X, which is my personal Facebook group, and then you also got the Discord Universe X, which it goes so far beyond just the normal cards. We got game, channels in there. We got like just pretty much anything. If you really have enough people in there talking about something, I'll make another channel. So with that being said, I want to lastly but not least give a shout out to my homie, as well as partial sponsor, TCGMetalZ. He makes great metal cards, and I mean, I'm looking forward to what he's coming out with for Realm of the Gods. There's already a couple of leaders that are already looking heat. You got UI, you got Trunks, you got Vegeta, I mean even Grand Prix, but he's gonna be making all sorts of cool things. Just an example right here, been rocking this Gohan for quite some time. This is the manga variant Gohan with actual art from the manga panels and the TOP in the background, and it's actually amazing. So that being said, if you do find something you like on his site, just put in the code UNIX at checkout and you'll get 10% off your entire order. Also, we're on the road to 2K, so every new subscriber, every current subscriber, every like, every comment really helps me towards the goal of reaching 2,000 and bringing this channel into a new level of production, revenue, content creation. Just the more I'm able to do with this channel, it kind of does stem from what this channel is able to give me, because right now all I can give it is my time, and sometimes things like giveaways can be tough because they come out of my own pocket. So I am trying to get this channel to a point where I can just do more and more for the subscribers and make this a real fun place to be, more fun than it already is. So anything is appreciated, and I am just happy to make content, and I'm again striving to be the best, if not one of the best content creators you guys watch for this card game. So let's move over to Untap and let's get right in there. So now that you guys can see this, we're gonna go through some brief things. You've got the Great Priest leader, okay? And right now on his front side, you can only include God battle cards in your deck, and you negate the energy exhaust skill of all gods in all areas. It's pretty cool. Activate main, switch this card to rest mode, draw a card. Awaken, when there are 4 more colors in your energy, you may switch this card and up to 2 of your energy to active mode. It's very important that you also switch him. Add cards from your life to your hand until you have 6 left and flip this card over. Very neat. Then, because of this is a very passive deck. As you can see, the leader doesn't swing to get his draw. When he flips over, which, holding shift actually isn't allowing him to flip over. Okay. When he flips over, you, in Activate Battle, can tap him to draw 1, and then you can combo a multicolor God card for the free. He is also going to be able to, I think that's for the most part it. He just negates the energy exhaust skills. Let me search this up real quick, because I'm just blanking, even though I've been testing with this guy a little bit. Yeah, that's it. Those are his only effects. Never mind. I forgot nothing. So, going into this, I found a couple of things that are going to be kind of weird, but we're going to go into it. You have all the color mixes for Grand Priest, and what I am kind of finding is that blue, yellow is of course the best base. Why? Because they have some very good support cards And they also have access to some very, 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 you know, just good utility. So we're gonna go over some things and why. When I first started out, knowing that, I knew I had to do the Angel. So I'm gonna kind of go through this, like how I built the deck and then move outward. We knew we were going to, we knew we were gonna have to, wow, that notification, man. We knew we're gonna have to go into blue, yellow as the core. So looking at that, I decided to max out on Alamo, Angel of Universe 1. Why? Because he comes into play for 1 and he taps himself to draw a card. Yes, your opponent can try to get rid of these, but if they combo 1 and you combo 1 on top of them, your combos are generally going to be 10k when they're coming off a Grand Priest. So he's going to be able to survive a lot of swings, but he ends up being able to tap himself and drawing. And if they spend time kind of swinging on this, they're not swinging on you. But this guy, if left alone, will snowball into a lot of advantage. So he's actually pretty cool to have. The other one that I ended up putting in a fair amount of copies are these guys. This is Martine, Angel of Universe 12. She is, you know, energy exhaust. She's Aegis once per turn, and she also comes in for 1. So she's going to be able to drop herself onto the field and be able to recur energy, and that's pretty cool. Because we're running Aegis, we do need to be mindful of how many yellow, blue cards we play. Granted, you're probably only use Aegis like twice a game, you know, I really feel like, but you still want to have that option. And then this is one of the best cards for that. You've got Zamasu the Eliminator. Zamasu the Eliminator is just really good. He might actually go up to 4 in exchange for one of these cards going down, but right now he's just at this amount because if you do have him in hand, you can't combo him, you know, unless you do it through effect, and so you don't want to get kind of too stuck. But Zamasu the Eliminator is, you know how he is. He's got his errata, but he's still a very powerful card. He can 2 for 1, he can counter a battle card and then tap something else. He replaces himself in hand, he's a floater. That's all you really need for this deck. Now moving on to the ones I put at 4, you got Vados and Whis. The reason why these guys are at 4, not only is Vados a counterplay and Whis is a counter attack and turns into a blocker, which is very nice to have, but these guys are the miniature Sensu Beans of the deck. You'll be able to untap energy when you use them, and that can come into play in a lot of ways. You'll see that kind of more as we go into it. Now the ones that we don't have at max, you know, you've got Conic Angel of Universe 7, or Universe 4. He's actually really neat. Once your opponent's down at 4 life, they're probably not going to want to crit themselves for offering, so you're going to be able to just play this guy and consistently just get your 2 draws because they're not going to try to drop down, because once you're at 2, it's very easy to die to this deck. Like very easy. So you're going to want to be able to try to force them down to 2, and when they don't want to go beneath 4, you'll just start getting these effects off. Next you got Cucktail. Cucktail, he is going to come in, he's blocker, which is amazing, and when you have, you know, 1 or more multicolor energy, your opponent may place a card from their life to the drop area, once again critting them. If they don't, you draw a card, they discard a card. Then you have this one, which I maxed out on, Margarita, Angel of Universe 11. She is a poutine. She's literally a poutine. She has barrier, she has blocker. You clearly don't want to block with her unless you have to, but she is a poutine, and that's awesome. But when she gets played, you're going to be able to discard a card from their hand, or when she gets comboed with. So this is actually a really neat part as well. Now, the last that we're going to round off these angels with are Kusu, Angel of Universe 10. She is the counterplay SR revealed at Worlds, and when she gets played, you're going to bounce something 6 or less to the bottom of your opponent's deck, so you'll tuck it. And then she's also, when she gets played or comboed with, you're going to take a card from their hand, or they get to choose a card from their hand and then put it at the bottom of their deck. So there's a little bit of hand destruction here, some burn. The burn is almost all crit, and that's the wild part about this. So that's pretty cool. As for the Unison, this can get pretty cloggy. This Unison's actually pretty thick. It's a 20k that goes up 1 per turn, and because of that, he doesn't really get off the field as often as you would think. So once you play your first one, it immediately feels bad to draw your second one. And because of that, I don't want to necessarily max out on them, because that's a really good way to have dead cards in hand. You can charge it, but yeah. Now, outside of that, you're going to notice there's no super combos here, and I'm going to show you why in a moment. To supplement the fact that there are super combos, I do play Goku Black Unforeseen Darkness, because he's going to be able to filter the same amount. He's going to be able to play himself. I'm going to draw 2 cards at the end of the turn, and then I'm going to be able to choose one card in my hand, place in the drop area, then choose one of my blue or yellow energy, switch to active mode. This is going to be a really good effect in this deck, and it's going to be kind of the workaround of the fact I'm not running super combos, and I will show you why momentarily. My secret rare, Supreme Kai Space Time. This is going to be able to come through and hopefully stop unison attacks and, you know, leader attacks, but the most important part is it'll be able to burst open the field if it gets too out of hand for me. Next, we've got 3 Violent Rays for a floodgatey, you know, kind of defense. We've got 4 Erase the Universe, because it's either going to be 6k combo or it's going to be a win con on the right turns. We got 4 Sensu Beans to manipulate my energy and keep me at healthy life totals, and also put my guys at 21, and then if they get comboed upon, they're generally going to be able to survive most things. And that is the deck. Now, if you're wondering why I don't have a unison or a super combo, that is because this deck has very often many tapped cards, unison, that won't ever be off the field. You'll generally get down to 6 life, and then unless your opponent is going for the absolute kill through your blockers, through your combos, you're not really guaranteed. Like, if you get stuck with 3 super combos in hand, you could sit on them dead until, you know, your opponent starts pushing. But if your opponent's pushing, there are cards that they've already killed. Like, you just give your opponent a lot of targets. Between Iwamo, they'll always be able to swing on these. They'll want to. If they can somehow tap through barrier, they'll be swinging on your Margaritas. Like, they might try to do some weird things with your Martines because they don't want you using Aegis. They might just swing, and if they don't want to swing on your leader, they can always just swing on Great Priest. So there's a lot of times where you just don't have the ability to get to 4 life, and this deck does not take your own life. So that can get a little sketch. The last thing is that when lots of people are talking about, you know, Erase the Universe, to use Erase the Universe, you only need to have, you know, 2 different angels with multiple colors on board. Now, one thing that's kind of neat is that Margarita has barrier, but Zamasa the Eliminator has indestructible. So either way, these are going to be good cornerstones to you maintaining the presence of having one of those 2. Unfortunately, the colors don't work out because they both share yellow. So if you have these all on board, you're only gonna, if you just have Zamasu and Margarita, you're only gonna burn your opponent for 1 damage, which could be enough depending on the game, but most of the time you're gonna need 1 more to be able to work your magic. So I'm actually really excited. Let's actually get into this, and yeah, I'll see you in the room. All right, so we're gonna try to go through this pretty quickly. I don't want the video to be terribly long, but I always say that, don't I? We're gonna draw, and the most important thing about this is having a mixture of colors. Right now, this is unfortunate because, like, as you can see, we have Kusu. We share all 4 of these cards have blue, which is fair because that's like kind of the most used color in my deck. But we're gonna put back the Whis because we want to have the entire base here. We want to start off with the blue yellow. You know what? We'll put back Kusu too. We want to start off with the blue yellow, but we need a red card, and we have Whis, but if we can get like a cocktail, or yep, there we go. So we should be able to do something with this. I'm gonna, yeah, because you want to kind of awaken on turn 3 with this deck. That should be the move. But we're gonna see whether we go first or not. We got a 10. They got a 14, so we're going second. Not exactly bad, but I mean, well, second is actually kind of good with this deck because there's so many like incremental hand destructions. Cards just by one. Just even going first, you can start putting dents in their hands. So, I mean, first turn, we draw, right? This is actually perfect because now we can get the full setup. This is a multicolored blue and yellow in your energy, so we can play him on turn 1 or turn 2. Yeah, okay. This is actually pretty good. We're gonna start off with playing a Whis. And after playing a Whis, we're just going to tap our leader and go here. Now, this is one of those turns where if we're playing against something like U7 Goku, we're gonna take a lot of damage here. We could potentially take 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 damage in 1 turn. Now, granted, we can definitely combo out of a lot of that damage. Like, we can combo out of a fair amount of it, but it really depends. I'm not sure how well that deck is going to fit into the format, but going second, you do open yourself up to a little bit, but we've got some stuff in here. Let's say, you know, somebody gets an attack off, right? And then an attack off with something else in their hand. Cool. So now, we've got a floodgate. I'm gonna do this, and we want to be able to use red energy, and this guy says you get to turn on your blue. Okay, cool. So we're gonna put our Aegis in here, right? And this is gonna be where we start to set up. Tap this, tap this. We're gonna play Goku Black, Unforeseen Darkness. Yeah, when he's played at the end of the turn, I'm gonna draw 2, discard 1, switch it to my blue or yellow energy to active mode. We get to tap Grand Priest and draw a card. Another one of these. At the end of the turn, I'm going to draw. We get to discard 1 card. I don't want to discard one of these because these are kind of my win cons. There's a lot of stuff I don't want to discard. We'll put away I think we want to charge the Kusu next turn to get green online and keep Margarita. We also want to keep this. Now, the question is, do we swing with Goku Black? Because depending on the deck, we do want to get you down to 4. So I guess that is one thing. I would want to swing with Goku Black just because we want to get you down there. I don't want to drop any of my, Sensi moves. We've already charged 1. We've only got 5 more in deck. But every other card in this hand is actually pretty exclusive. Or pretty good. So we're going to drop that and be done with it. We're going to be able to open up this, and this is going to allow us to either Sensu or Violent Rays. So we've actually got like some defense. You can kind of see how this hand is shaping. I don't know, if we had to Violent Rays, I would just hit this and discard one of these. Maybe take a leader swing. And this is one of those cases where if this is an aggro deck, we would actually, even if it is Goku, I gotta be real about it. Even if it is Goku, Violent Rays isn't necessarily going to help too much unless they're dropping like Divine Presences. So it really depends. Like, this is one of those things where you really have to see what deck you're playing, especially when this is super reactive. But once we get to this turn, we start actually being able to do some funny things. Getting the Margarita is actually really cool because I don't have to put the Kusu down, but we do need green. And the question is, do we want multiple blues or multiple greens? Or multiple yellows? And I think right now we choose... It's actually hard because we have good counter plays in here. We choose this. So we're going to play Margarita, right? And then we're going to tap this and this to play Margarita. So now we've got a Poutine on board. And after getting a Poutine on board, we can tap Grand Priest to draw a card. This would have been an excellent time to get the Unison, but we can't always be that lucky. We're going to Awaken. We don't add any cards in hand, because we just aren't nice like that, because we're already at 6 life, but we will untap 2 and then flip him over. We can Awaken right now because we have 4 colors of energy in our 4 colors in our energy. So once we Awaken, we can start doing some funny things. I would swing with Goku Black. I would activate my leader's ability in the activate battle to draw, and then that's a nice pickup, and then we'll combo an Angel from hand. That Angel is going to be a Wanmo, and then we will tap this after he goes up to 20k. We'll tap this to bring him in, and then we will tap a Wanmo to draw another card. So now we've got Whis, we've got actually a couple of cool things. Now, like I said, I would like to see the Grand Priest Unison, but it can get clunky at higher levels, so we are just chilling here. We've got a couple things we can do. If the deck is Swarmy, we do have the ability to Violent Rays and Kai in the same turn by letting just one attack through. But we've also got Poutine, essentially, to kind of do some heavy lifting. So this is actually pretty neat. We're going to get to a point where we can start harassing next turn, and that's the most important thing. Like, if we have to use... I'm trying to think of what's a good thing. Like, we have Poutine here. We can definitely counterplay after using Sensu. Like, let's say we Sensu out of an attack. After Sensuing out of an attack, we hit you with one of these so that you have to, bounce. Like, we've got a couple of cool things we can do. We still have a blocker if necessary. We just want to use Margarita, and we still have access to Violent Rays. So as you can see, like, the deck, it's not like it's ironclad on what it can do defensively. And there are some things that can be sorted out. Like I said, the more we know about the format, the better we'll be able to kind of code this deck. But there's going to be a lot of small plays you can make. We've got this. We start off our turn by drawing. Of course, it's prone to removal. But again, this is a very, 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 very passive deck. Swing with Goku Black. Activate, Grand Priest. Draw a card. That's a very nice pickup. We are going to go over here with Koenig. So this is now a 25k swing. If they're at 4 life already, they won't really want to start critting life, especially with what's coming up next turn. So we will play this guy for 1 red. And after playing him for 1 red, we will ask our opponent for offering. Chances are we'll draw 2 at this point in the game. Grand Priest is a very, very nice card to have. We don't have a Sensu in hand. If I play Grand Priest, I'll be able to untap 1 blue-red, but I won't be able to... Yeah, I think for this turn, Grand Priest is not the move. That may be... Yeah, we may have just drawn it too late, because right now I'd rather play Unforeseen Darkness and see what we can draw. And Unforeseen Darkness is going to come into play. Won't swing with him yet. At the end of the turn, we can take 1, take 2. That's going to come into play next turn. We have a fair amount of Weeses, so we can drop that, and we will untap 1 of our blue energy. So we have that now, and now we've got a pretty interesting start here. We've got Zamasu for defense, but we can also use Violent Rays and Kai. This late in the game, if you do hit somebody with like Kai, you know, like you just literally Kai somebody, and then, you know, just either eat the damage or just discard something for some like combo with something, you can definitely do that. And then you can still, actually I would definitely do that the other way so I don't screw myself. You can still Violent Rays somebody and just drop a card, whether that be Grand Priest, because I don't think we're going to be able to use him again. That's fine. And at this point, you're sitting at a pretty cool point where you can nuke their field. I'm definitely going to charge here, but yeah, you can nuke their field and then still keep up some stuff. But without Grand Priest, it was a little unfortunate to not see him as early. So yeah, this turn, you're going to be able to burn somebody by tapping out all of your energy, which is the by far scariest part, especially since we don't have a Sensu Beat or anything. I'm going to tap this, and I'm going to draw Zamasu. So right now, the hand can be actually pretty cloggy. It may have been better to just wait and play the Grand Priest. Let me actually back that up. I will see that real quick, because this is one of those moments where we may not actually survive that well. Let me see exactly. We could discard, I don't want to discard another Whis. We kind of want the draw power of Cognac, and we don't know we're getting another Zamasu. And I think we've already put, no, we haven't already put there. This is back at the Goku discard. We might have to discard, yeah. So this time, playing into Grand Priest instead of playing the other thing, we're going to be able to do a couple things. Play this, tap that. Maybe we swing first. It really depends on their color, because we don't want this negated. But we can nuke the entire board. Grand Priest will come in with 3 markers on it. And now we have the ability to open up our energy again. Swing with Cognac, or we can keep it there if we want to keep our count out not to be destroyed. So swing with Goku Black. When we swing with Goku Black, we're going to activate this, and we're going to draw a card, which is that. And then, yeah, we haven't drawn with that. We can activate Whis, and Whis can untap one of these, because we don't necessarily, you know what? We'll tap this, or untap that. And then on the same attack, if we want to force it, we can activate Grand Priest. The moment we tap him, we +1, and we untap one of our other blue ones. After untapping that, I'm going to combo with a Cognac. No, yeah, Cognac. And after untapping that, now that we have our attack up to 35k, we're going to tap a red and then play this guy. And again, if you were going to give us offering draw 2 before, you're probably going to give it to us again. So now we're sitting in a slightly better place, but I think I cut myself off from Violent Rays. So I think that's the actual thing. You have to be very cognizant about which ones you untap, because it matters. Like, it severely matters. Right now we can Violent Rays. We can block with Margarita. Oh, we have one more draw. And it's, see, I play it and I see another one. This is the only bad part about this. And I only run it at 3 for this reason. But yeah, at this point, you can do a lot of things. If they're at this low life, you can start trying to swing in order to, with all your non-blockers, in order to force things. You got enough swings to at least start making them start discarding things, unless they have Sensu, in which case, yeah. But now you can Violent Raise. I can Violent Raise twice and whatnot, and you're sitting at a point where next turn you get to draw. I'm gonna immediately charge his Fool, and you can kind of see your options from here, like tap, draw. We got another Wando. That's actually kind of wonderful. We can now play a card like Erase the Universe and burn them for 2 by tapping everything but 1 blue. Actually, we want to keep up the blue-yellow, I think, yeah. So you would tap everything, but the best part about this kind of deck is you can do this and then be like, okay, I'm going to swing with this person. I'm going to tap this guy, I'm going to draw a card, and I'm going to hit you with the Vados, and Vados is going to untap another blue. I'm going to do this, which is going to attack one of my blue gods, and then I am going to combo with an Awanmo. I'm now going to tap this yellow to play another Awanmo, and this is where you're at right now. So that guy went up to 30k, and then you can tap the Awanmo and you can draw one, which is going to be Zamasu. I still have the ability to attempt to pressure you with the cards that are still here. I've got Poutine. I have access to a Violent Raise, because if I use one last turn. Now, I haven't been able to use the Masus in a good bit, but you can kind of see how the flimsy part about this is kind of the defense. So I'm going to do one more kind of really fast one, and this will be going first because the last one I went second technically. Like I said, we're going to try to see if we can open up with 2 colors. We're going to put a lot of this back. I want to keep Goku Black, but there's 4 of them in the deck, and like I said, that could be a very wrong number. But we just need to see, okay, that Macarena was good, but we'd like to see a color that's not it. Okay, well, we're going first, so we actually have a fair amount of things that can happen here. I'm definitely going to charge the only card I have a duplicate of. And then we are going to tap and draw. Going first in this deck feels a lot better than going second, I'll tell you what. They're going to swing on us with their leader. It's probably getting an effect. That's tight. We're going to draw. It's definitely got to be I mean, it would be Macarena, but I like keeping her. So we're going to... Oof. I really want a green in there. We're just going to have to draw her later. We'll tap that. And after tapping that, we can technically awaken here, but we're going to save it for the Grand Priest turn since we're going first. We are going to tap that, and we are going to draw one. So when they swing on us, it's going to be an interesting moment, because on turn 2, they'll probably be able to present something that can just, I don't know, actually swing on us. So what I'm going to do here is just take it. If it's 15k, this is perfect, because we're going to actually just net a lot. We're going to be able to combo 1 to combo with this. We would still take it if it's 15, because that would make it neutral, and then we'll pay this to play Iwano into play, and that's actually going to be a beautiful, beautiful turn, because the very next turn we get to draw, kind of deliberate on what we want to keep. We have far too many Whis and Vadoses in here, only because only the leader can untap it, and for the state of the game, I think we're just better off playing it like so. We will tap, we will tap, we will tap, and we will play Grand Priest. He comes in with these counters on him. We are going to tap our leader to draw, and then we are going to tap Iwano to draw. And after doing that, we are going to start being fairly stacked. We're going to awaken our leader by going down to 6 life, which we already are at, and untapping 2 of our energy. It's very important to leave a blue untapped, or tapped, because Grand Priest is going to untap it with his effect. So now what we're going to be able to do is we need to play a card. This is the only weird space, but you know what? That's the thing. This deck can be so passive. If you don't need to use a card, don't use a card, you know? Like, your opponent swings at your unison. Well, actually, we will +1 him because he has to be +1. It says what? Activate battle. Yeah, it's better to +1 on your turn because you don't want to get caught lacking. So we'll do this and we'll pass. This will give us the ability to, if our opponent tries to play something stupid, we can just Zamasu them and draw a card. If they swing at our leader because they're trying to press damage, you can always activate battle, draw a card. I am going to, oh, we cannot plus him because we didn't swing the last turn. Yeah, activate battle, draw a card. You're going to end up comboing with this guy. You can also activate battle and tap this guy +1, untapping a blue energy. And actually the order would change, wouldn't it? Yeah, because you'd want to combo with a Whis because this is your leader is the only guy that can combo with the 2 costs. And you're going to combo with the Whis, and the Whis is going to untap another energy. But then you're going to, with the Grand Priest, combo with the Konik, and Konik is going to be played after the combo. So this is going to happen. Your leader will definitely be at 35k, so he's definitely going to be cool. And then you can tap one of these to bring in the Koniks. And it depends on what life your opponent's at. Like if your opponent's above 5, they're probably not trying to let you draw 2, so they'll just get crit 1. So I'm assuming it's going to be a crit 1 this early in the game. Next, untap draw. The Goku Black was a really nice rip. I'm trying to see exactly what I want to play here. We've got a lot of stuff that we can charge. I'm going to charge a yellow blue because we don't necessarily need Aegis right now. We've got so many Whis and Vados, and we've got Goku Black. I'm going to tap this to see another option on draw. That's excellent. I'm going to tap this and tap this to play Goku Black, unforeseen. After doing that, I'm going to swing here. And this is where we start getting a little nutty again. We can activate this and draw. That draw, I'm going to combo Vados, which is going to open up this. And then I'm going to use Grand Priest to do that and untap this. And as you can see, like it's like we didn't even minus that turn in terms of like energy. We definitely use hand. He's going to combo this on top of it. So this Goku Black is now a 35k swinger. And after the combo's over, I'm going to retap this and we're going to play Konik. And at this point, you may get a point where they let you draw 2 because they're starting to near, parts of life where they don't want to be, in which case we will gladly draw 2. After drawing 2, we have multiple Macaritas. We're going to untap an energy at the end of turn. So I think it's okay to establish the poutine. Now, this is going to be the weird part because now we're at a position, we're at 6 life. I don't think they're killing us. I mean, you can definitely kill 6 life at this point, but we could Kai them. I don't think Zamasu necessarily is going to be the best card to play, but we've got a blocker on board, we got a poutine, and we've got the access to Kai. So I think at the end of the turn, especially if we see a Sensu, this is just gonna be a really good setup. We can attempt to pressure them a little bit more just by swinging. There's no reason not to send the swing, especially if they just have to kind of discard cards out of hand to stop it. Then we are going to draw 2 at the end of the turn due to Goku Black. We will discard the Macarena, and then we will untap this. So at this point, what we can honestly present is if we need to, we're gonna get a poutine effect, but we can always hit the Supreme Kai, especially if they swing with the battle card first. We can easily take damage. It really depends on where they're trying to swing. If they try to swing at our leader to get the kill, we can take damage. Surprised we haven't seen it since Beam, but the Violent Ray is actually an excellent pickup. Like, we could slam the Violent Rays. They might be trying to play damage control at this point because you don't want to get caught under any of this right now. But I mean, I feel like we're kind of in a fair amount of control. We can discard that and kind of blank the entire turn between those 2 cards. Next turn, we draw, we untap. I'm not sure if we care as much about Aegis right now, but I'm going to play I want to keep Kusu open because at this point we need to play defense until we can draw one of these cards. But depending on their board, if they were trying to do some funny stuff, you definitely want to just blow this to pieces. Remove that from the game. It is removed from the game, just pretend it's removed from the game. Blow that to pieces, and after you do that, you can start swinging with your dumb stuff. Swing with this. I want to combo here, and after comboing here, we're going to draw a card. We're going to combo. Do we want to untap here? I don't think there's anything for us to really untap with. So I'm going to do this. And after doing that, you know, we might as well keep our energy up just in case. So yes, let's combo with this and we will untap this. And then I don't want to waste our Grand Priest quite yet. So we're just going to, you know what? That would be the thing though. Okay, so we'll do this. See, like that's the weird part. Right now we have too much energy for our own good. We could do this and then tap that. Yeah, so make him a 20k, play this guy. Oh, yeah, we have a Wanmo. That was dumb of us. So we could have actually sequenced that a little differently, but that's cool. So we can do this and we can tap a yellow just to play a Wanmo. We've got 2 Wanmos on board, so we got to draw 1, tap. We got to draw 2, tap. Nice Violent Raise. We can now... I think we want to keep it up. We cut ourselves off from Kusu. So... there was a lot of weird stuff here. I might have mis-sequenced there a little bit, but we have access to Zamasu and our other card next turn. So if they do want to swing on us, we have quite a few options. I mean, we still have Zamasu, the Eliminator, which will end up drawing us a card and tapping something. We have access to Violent Raise. As you can see, this is an unfortunate thing because I'm at 5, but I haven't seen any of my Erase It universes yet. This is sort of a problem. We're getting to a point where I will... I feel like I should keep that card. We have a fair amount in hand. We want to keep some of this control. I'll drop Avados because we're needing these less and less. And we can start getting to the point where we're... if they got better combos, they got better combos. Like, look at this. At this point, we have Erase the Universe. We can definitely play Erase the Universe for a flat 5. Just consider all of this tapped. And after all this is tapped, and we play Erase the Universe, like to burn them for 2, if that's not game, which you probably shouldn't, they should be at 2 or 1. Draw 2, that's a great draw 2. We're gonna swing with Goku Black. Again, we're gonna activate this to draw a card. We're gonna go for a Vados, which is going to do that. We're going to try to push through damage, actually. We're gonna go up to 6 now, untap. What do I wanna play? This, we'll combo this. We will Sensu on that. We'll untap this. And then we will, well, this is actually all on him. So this is where we're at right now. I would very much so think that the move, now that Goku Black is literally at, we can't even do that. We can't combo with him because of, you know, that you have to kind of really be cognizant of these. We could combo with this and make my opponent lose a card in hand, depending on how far it is in the game. That's a little funky. That's a little funky. If that's the case, see, I'm already messing up on energy. Like, it really is going to depend on who you're facing to figure out what you're kind of doing with that. But you can kind of see the whole purpose of this is to see one more universe, you know, one more Awakens, or one more Erase a Universe. If I can get to Erase a Universe, we're in a really good space right now. At this point, most strategies will probably run over you at 6. I think, because a Zamasu is not enough right now. Like, at this very moment, if right now we just started taking damage, what would we get? We would get a Sensu Bean, that's a really good one. We would get a Grand Priest, that's not a really good one. We get another Sensu Bean. Okay, actually, you know what? This is actually kind of funny, because at this point, with all of that, you know, we've gotten the poutine effect off if they're trying to kill us this turn. Actually, to be honest, we've probably gotten one of these off. Once plays battle for energy cost greater than energy, return that card to the owner's hand. We can actually probably get that off. That's defensive. We can tap, and I mean, you've literally got access to Sensu Bean in spades here. I mean, you can Sensu Bean your leader twice, which is always gonna be a little harder to get off. Once you Sensu Bean your leader twice, you now have access to, I mean, we've used the poutine effect, we've used this guy. Now that this has happened, you can tap and you can tap and you could hurt a card, you know, bounce it back. You can now also Zamasu your opponent. Hit that. Okay, that was actually a surprising amount of defense for that turn. So now, between getting a card bounced, getting a card tapped, getting a card bounced, getting a card tapped and countered, and then double sensuing on your cards, you may actually be able to say that you kind of could have survived a good turn outside of Fu. And if that's the case, the game's over next turn. But yeah, like I said, once we actually start getting into the format, I'll be able to fine tune this deck a lot more and see what we have to offer. So yeah, thank you guys for watching. I hope you guys liked the content. This one was a little longer despite me saying I wanted to be shorter, but there was so many effects to go over and there's so many lines of play. You just kind of have to be able to really sit across from an opponent, and we are going to get there. But I hope I gave people some ideas to work with the deck. I hope you guys got something out of this, and I'm excited to be able to lay this one on you. So thank you guys, and I hope you guys have a great day. Tomorrow's New Year's Eve. Be safe, everybody, and you know, no drinking, no driving at the same time or shortly around each other. I mean, you can drive to drink somewhere, but just don't drink and then drive somewhere. I'd love to see all you guys coming into the new year along with me. So thanks, and I'll see you guys next time.